Hello, hi, namaskar, and a very good evening to all those who are connected here. I am Prashil Badwaik. I am a chemical engineering graduate from VNIT in Nagpur and currently working with industry as an executive. And all we are connected here for the preparation of GATE in a very splendid manner. I am also uploading these videos on YouTube for those who are unable to attend the live classes and for those who want to revise again. We'll start the session of the day. So before that, I'll quickly recap what we studied in yesterday's class. We started with step injection in ideal reactor, right? Step injection in ideal reactors, and there we saw how your profile is there and what is your reference when you are considering your concentration profile, right? Whenever you are calculating E of t or F of t, in case of your pulse injection, your ET is basically concentration at any time divided by your area under C curve, right? But in case of your step injection, you have seen there is no F of t, there is no E of t. First you are getting F of t, and after differentiating F of t, you are getting E of t, right? So you will be having step injection, that is C step. This formula is clear here. C step, that is your concentration of tracer at any time at the exit of reactor, is equals to your maximum concentration of tracer into your F of t, right? F of t ka maximal is 1 and we are multiplying it with C max, so we'll get concentration maximum, right? So that was about. Then we started then with step tracer experiment in ideal CSTR, jahan pe we have seen various parameters, or we calculated various things such as mean residence time. Then we calculated what is your concentration profile, what is your E of t and all. And there we saw one important point, that was whenever you are having step injection and pulse injection, you will get different concentration profile at the exit of reactor, right? Your C curve is different, but you are getting same exit edge distribution function and cumulative distribution function, that is your E of t and F of t in both cases, because non-LT in a reactor, in a single reactor, I'll say it is same, so we will get same profile. Then we moved on to the next topic, that was our okay, this will cover in today's topic. We had one topic left. So before that, one doubt was asked in yesterday's class, that was accumulation of tracer, right? Accumulation of tracer. So whenever I writing any equation for balance, so we are writing input minus output plus generation minus consumption is equals to your accumulation, right? And when I told you the definition of steady state, there was your input is equals to your output, so there is no accumulation. Accumulation is equals to 0 in that case, right? So there are two ways to write down this equation. First is in the form of your accumulation. Okay, so when we put the actual values here, right? यहाँ पे क्या आता, accumulation term is equals to d by dt of your unit is moles per second, and you can write this mole per second into moles per meter cube into meter cube per second. So you are having concentration at exit of reactor into your volume of any reactor. Suppose here we are having MFR. So this is what. So can you write this accumulation as rate of change of concentration of tracer at the exit? Instead of accumulation, I can write, because this term is always d by dt term, right? So concentration of tracer at the exit of reactor is continuously changing. So this accumulation can also be written as, or we can also refer it as, rate of change of concentration of tracer at the exit of reactor, right? So instead of accumulation, you use this term, and you can see there is actual balance. This concentration of tracer is continuously changing. Suppose if you refer this accumulation, then there will be confusion. But if you consider it as rate of change, then it is clear. I hope you are clear with this. Please raise your hand if it's clear. So you considered it as rate of change of concentration, and concentration of tracer is changing continuously. Okay. So with this, we'll start with our next session. So there we'll see your step tracer injection, your ideal CSTR. Okay, so we'll start that. So you write ideal PFR, ideal PFR, ideal PFR, and there is your step injection. So in yesterday's class, we have seen one of the function, that was your del of t. What is this? Direct delta function. Direct delta function, right? Direct delta function. And यहाँ पे हमने properties पढ़ी थी. This is your a and b. Okay, del of t minus, suppose your x is there and it is what, dt will be there. So you can consider x as a point, or it is a time, any time that at which you need to calculate value, or I'll say instead of this you can write it as tp, right? So if tp, this tau p is belongs to a and b, then you will be having value 1. And if it is not belonging to your this interval, you can write closed interval a comma b, then you will be having 0 value if it is not belonging to that, right? Second thing is integration a to b del of t minus tau p dt into your f of t is there, right? So you are having two function, one is this and second is f of t. So this value is equals to your f of t, f of tau p I'll say, and second is 0 if your tau p is belonging to your a and b, close interval a and b, then you will be having f of t, right? And if it is not belonging, you will be having 0 value. I also told you why this condition is there, right? Whenever you are integrating starting point to end point, you will not get any value if it is not belonging. Okay, this was about direct delta function. Okay, now in this, in ideal PFR, we are going to start with new function, and that is your ut, that is your time function, unit time function. Whenever you are representing any function with respect to time, you will be having unit time function. Its value is 1. Suppose if I am having f of t and if I am multiplying it by u of t, then it is your f of t, because it is unit time function, so you can multiply any function by that, right? This is if there is no lag. If there is no lag means you are going with respect to your time. Suppose this is your input at time t is equal to 0, you are given one input and you are getting same curve at t is equals to tau p. T is equal to tau p, you are getting this curve. So here you can see it is starting from 0, right? But at exit you are getting time lag, right? This tau p time lag you are getting. So if there is lag, then you need to multiply this f of t into u of what will be that? T minus tau p, right? So it is representing you, there is lag. So whenever there is lag in the system, we will see this in process dynamics and control. Whenever there is lag in any function, you can write it as this into your u of t minus tau p. What is this? There is unit time function. And if you are replacing this tau p, that is minus tau p, in place of this 0, or if you are representing that minus sign, then it is showing it is lagging. And if suppose it is f of t into u of t plus tau p, then it is leading. It is leading. Okay, we'll see its significance in process dynamics and control. This is generally used in Laplace, and Laplace is a basic of your process dynamics and control. If you know this Laplace, then the subject will be very easy, and what I'll say, I'm very enthusiastic, very enthusiastic to start that subject because I love that process dynamics subject. Okay, so this was about your unit time function, right? So I'll just brief here this ideal PFR with step injection. This is your reactor. This is your inlet. This is your outlet, or I'll say point of injection and point of detection. Inlet and there will be volumetric flow rate of nu naught. Here outlet will be nu naught. Why? Because we are following steady state assumption, right? So you will be having this condition. So your inlet will be step injection, step tracer injection, you can write. Now your inlet profile will be at time t is equal to 0. This is your profile, it is 0, and suddenly at time t is equal to 0 you are giving step input of magnitude c naught. C naught is your magnitude, or you are adding, you are suddenly started adding C naught concentration of tracer at the inlet, okay, at time t is equal to 0. I hope you are clear with this. Then what will be your profile at the exit? You know, there is no axial mixing, no axial mixing. So what happens? You rightly said in yesterday's class. Please tell. There is no axial mixing.
Sir, it's same, but starts at t equal to tau p.
Right. So you will be having same profile at the exit as it is. Water molecule has entered at any time t at inlet, that will come as it is, but after covering tau p, right? So what I can write here, suppose if it is your t is equal to 0, this is your point and this is your tau p, so you will get same profile just after tau p time, right? So this is your profile at the exit of reactor, and this is what, this is your time lag tau p, right? This profile you are getting. So so I can write C inlet, C in is equals to at t less than 0 and t less than equal to 0, or it should be greater than equal to. What is your concentration when time t less than 0? You will be having 0
0.
value, right? And it is your C naught. So your exit will be similar to this C out is equals to your 0 when time less than your tau p, and you will be having concentration C naught at the exit. You write this is C naught, okay, greater than equal to tau p. So here if I am writing C in as C naught into u of t, just unit time function, is it fine? I can write it, okay. Then here outlet will be, I'll explain this in detail when we'll start PDC, okay. So please don't worry about this u of t, just you take out what I'm telling here. So what is your C out? That will be your C naught, same, only difference will be u of t minus tau p. I told you whenever I am writing PFR, I need to have, or I need to use the mathematics to represent what actually happens in your PFR. There we saw direct delta function. Here we are seeing in case of step injection, it is unit time function. Okay, so this was about your inlet and outlet. Now what is your f of t in step injection? Anyone?
T of T out divided by C max.
Right, so I am writing here C step t divided by C naught. This is your exit concentration at any time t in case of step. That's why I'm writing here step, and that divided by your C naught, that is your maximum concentration. So what is your f of t then here? It is your u of t minus tau p, right? This you are getting. Then next thing will be your e of t. E of t is basically your d by dt of f of t. So you'll be having d by dt of u of t minus tau p. You can also compare this, because what I told you, you will be having same et and ft profile. Just we are using two different functions to represent step and pulse. So you'll be having same values of f of t and e of t in both step and pulse for a single reactor. Okay. Then You know E of t. Okay, so this is your C curve. Okay, by the way, which one is your C curve? Out of these two?
So the output one.
Output one is your C curve. Okay, don't confuse between your C curve. That is always your concentration at the exit. Okay, so you know what is your C curve. So based on that, you can calculate your E curve. Okay, and what will be your F curve then? F curve will be your F of t. I'm writing. It will be same, right? That is just accumulation of your E curve, step by step cumulative value. So you will be having at time up to time t is equals to tau p, you will not having any value, but suddenly there will be this. So you will be having this kind of curve, and you can say you can represent this line by dotted line. Dotted line you can say, because here you don't know what is your values. There is sudden increase in your value or sudden addition of your one. So you'll be having this profile. Okay, then this was all about your basics of non-ideal reactors. I hope you know what kind of profile you are getting in CSTR, in PFR, and based on this, now we are going to look at applications of what we studied till date. Okay, applications of what we studied till date. So now, suppose if I am telling you, find out RTT of reactors when reactors are connected in series. So you write RTD of reactors connected in series. Important. First example, CSTR followed by PFR. What is your I? This I is basically point of injection. Your P and Q are point of detection. Now you are a doctor of reactor and you need to tell the profile. What is your inlet concentration profile for pulse injection?
Sudden increase at t equals to 0, sir.
There will be sudden increase. Okay, I am drawing imperfect injection. Okay, please don't confuse between perfect and imperfect. Generally we are drawing this because nothing is ideal there, but if someone asks you to draw ideal profile, then you need to draw like this, right? This you will get straight line only, CT curve as a function of time. So this is your imperfect injection inlet profile. This is your ET. I am writing directly ET. Time t is equal to 0, suddenly there is addition, right? Now can you guys please tell me what is your profile at point P for this injection? At point P,
Exponentially decreasing.
what? Exponentially
Exponentially
decrease.
decreasing.
Correct. So we'll be having this profile. There will be exponentially decreased profile. Now can you please tell me what is your starting point at time t is equal to 0? What is this?
1 by tau m.
1 by tau m. 1 by tau m, right? This is your 1 by tau m. Then what is your E curve? What is your E value? ET here.
P power
1
minus
by
P
tau
by
m
tau m by
into
tau m.
e power minus
divided by tau m, right?
by tau.
This just I'm revising. Okay, this will this will be a revision. Then at point Q, at point Q, you have given injection of, you say these are connected. Okay, this pathway is given in between. I'm drawing here, but this is not actually. You can say CSTR is followed by PFR, and there is no lag in between that. Okay, so you are injecting this E core, right? You are injecting this E core into your PFR now. This at point P, that is your injection to your Q. So what is your profile then? E core PFR में क्या पढ़ा
Sir,
था हमने?
after tau,
Sir, it will be same exponential decrease.
It will be same exponential decreasing profile, but
Time is
after
tau
time lag
P.
Time tau.
after time T, right? After time tau
P.
P. You write here, I forgot to mention, this is your tau M, that is space time for MFR, and tau P, right? So your profile will be what? This is your profile at the exit of reactor. Exponential decay. What is this value? 1 by tau M. And what is this? Tau P. Suppose if I'm telling you this is your profile. So from this profile, can you guess what should be your combination then? This is exponential decay you show. If such kind of profiles is there, and it is given 3 and it is given 5 minutes, so you'll be having tau M and tau P. That is your MFR followed by your PFR. This is your first condition. I'll tell you what is the next point, but for a moment you consider this. What is your tau M? Space time for
1 by
MFR?
3.
1 by 3.
1 by 3. You please be careful while doing this, okay? 1 by tau P is one axis, 1 by tau M is on what axis, and tau P is on what axis? Tau P is your 5 minute, okay? And this is in your minute only, okay? So this, by looking at graph, you should be able to find out what is your time and what is arrangement, right? I hope you are able now, okay? So this is your overall profile. So which profile will you draw when I'm telling you if there is CSTR followed by PFR? What will be your CT or what is your ET core?
The Q will be RT.
At point Q, okay? Don't write this P profile, right? If it is asking you what is your profile at P, then you draw that. Otherwise, whenever I'm writing your E core, that is your this, not first one. Second one is your final core, and that is exit of reactor. That's why I'm writing this. So ET core is this. Then what is your equation of ET? Can you guys guess? There is lag of tau P. So you can have ET, you can represent it in terms of your unit time step function, or this is your pulse injection. That's why what I'll do, I'll write e to the power t minus tau P divided by tau M whole divided by tau M. Is it correct? For pulse injection, you will be having this profile equation, this, right? This kind of profile you will be having e to the power minus t minus tau P. Please be careful with this. Okay, this is your profile ET. Then next case, PFR followed by CSTR, pulse injection. Tau P, tau M, injection, detection, you will be having point here P. This detection you can write as point Q. Pulse injection. Series combination, right? What is your profile at point P? First you tell what is your inlet. So for inlet you will be having impulse or pulse profile which we drawn earlier. This profile will be same. I am not drawing again. So at point P, what is your profile? And what is your profile at point Q?
At P same, but at tau P, T is equals to tau P.
Okay. I think I should draw first your inlet profile. This is your inlet at tau P. No, at T is equal to 0. Right? So you will be having same profile after time tau P. So at point, you please mention at point P, right? Okay. So you'll be having this profile at time tau P, right? This is your 0. After time tau P, you are getting same profile. Now what is your profile at point Q?
After time tau m, it will be exponentially decreasing.
After time
Tau m.
tau M.
Tau P
After
plus
time
tau
tau
m.
P, yeah. Okay.
You will get exact, right? See, I think yes, it's correct. Not after tau M. It is exactly, see, this exactly, this profile is going inside, right? This is profile is entering your CSTR. That is what I'm writing is directly you are giving impulse input to your CSTR, right? Am I correct? Impulse injection
Yes,
to
sir. After time tau
CSTR.
P.
So at time tau P only you will get this profile. Exponential decay. At time tau P, right? So this is your ET curve, right? Or I'm writing ET final F, ETF, and this is your actual ET curve. What is the similarity you are getting in PFR followed by CSTR and CSTR followed by PFR?
Final curve is similar.
Right? That means final curve, instead of final curve you write E curve is same, C curve is same, right? So you will be having same E curve for PFR followed by MFR. Second is your MFR followed by PFR. Right? That was your answer. Then your ET, you know what is ET? E to the power minus T minus tau P divided by tau M divided by tau M, right? So you can see in your E curve you are having both these values. Tau P is also there and tau M is also there. Okay, and this is what your 1 by tau M. I forgot to mention. Okay, this is your value. Third example we'll see. PFR followed by PFR.